What's up, everybody? This is Suresh from Mind is a Monkey coming at you guys with another episode of Let's Check Out Some Diecast. Well, this is my first diecast video in 2026, and man, it's already February. Can you believe it? January has been a month of reflection, recalibration, a lot of planning, and outlook, I should say. And boom, here we are, February. So I thought it would be appropriate to start the new year with a review of the first mix of 2026 Hot Wheels Boulevards. This is a pretty interesting mix: a Nissan 300ZX twin turbo, a BMW M3 GTR, a 2002 Pontiac Firebird, a 1993 Toyota 4Runner, and a 1978 Dodge Little Red Express truck. Without further delay, let's dive right into these castings. Now, before we start reviewing the castings, I wanted to do a card art comparison between 2025 and 2026, right? So as you can see, this is 132, the 95 Lamborghini Diablo SV from 2025. So the card art, right, for 2025 is predominantly what looks like each model is pulling up in front of a movie theater, right? The cinemas. So it says Hot Wheels Cinemas Premiere, and there's a board that says coming soon, and the words bientôt à l'affiche, which I think is French for literally coming soon, right? So all the Hot Wheels Premium, the assortment code, and Hot Wheels Boulevard, I think these were new symbols or new logos that were designed in as part of the 2025 makeover, right? So that seems to be the recurring pattern of the 2025 Boulevards card art. And now in 2026, they have changed the background scene to what looks like a beach, right? So each of these cars are somewhere kind of like driving into a parking spot near a beach, right? And I say beach because of the background, right? Now there's a pelican here, right? And it also looks like a surfboard there in the parking sign on top of the car, right? So that looks like a surfboard. And look at all the the background, the tall palm trees and stuff. And also check this out. That's the shoreline, right? That's the shoreline. There are like some surfboards here, and there's also like what seems to be a pathway leading into an outpost that's possibly used by Baywatch or whatever, right? So that seems to be and look at that brilliant sun that's like setting in the background, right? So looks like a very pleasant evening time. Look at all these birds in the background. We also had in addition to the pelican, we have all these birds flying here, typically like a beach sunset kind of a setting, right? And they have retained the signage of Hot Wheels Premium and Hot Wheels Boulevards. All that are similar to 2025. So that's with regards to the card art. Now let's dive into the castings. Our first car for today at 141 is the Nissan 300ZX Twin Turbo. It's also called as the bi-turbo, right? Okay, so let's open this up. Now, some fun facts about this casting, right? So for a casting that's been around since 2019, all right, and for the Boulevards, which is a series that's been there since 2012, right? So it's pretty interesting to note that this is actually making its debut appearance in the Boulevards, right? So, when this casting was released, it made a lot of heads turn. It came out as a super pressure hunt, and it's been a Zamac, and this one actually made its real rider debut with Car Culture Modern Classics back in 2021. And it made a reappearance in 2022 Ronin Run. So a pretty awesome looking casting, neat execution, right? So the Nissan, and there's a Nissan writing on the front grille, RSR lettering along the length of the body. And wow, check it out. It even has some details here. So it says Nissan Twin Turbo, and it has Hot Wheels Fairlady for Easter egg of a tailplate, right? So, and it also has the lettering 300ZX, which is like pretty smudged because of that dot matrix or whatever kind of printing they use for the decals there. All right, so you really need a pretty good macro to kind of like get into those details. All right, so there we have Hot Wheels Fair Lady. That indeed is a fair lady, right? Don't you guys agree? So pretty cool paint job, that black and silver, right? So there we have the first casting for 2026 Hot Wheels Boulevards, the Nissan 300ZX Turbo. Up next is the BMW M3 GTR. Now, this is an almost brand new casting, right? The reason I said almost brand new is because this casting just made its debut appearance last year, right? So it came as part of the Core Culture 2 pack, right? So this has not been a mainline so far, all right? So that is the story with this casting. So almost brand new, and definitely brand new to Boulevards, right? So check out that details. It's really cool. Those vents on the hood, right? You're literally able to appreciate all the detail when the light hits it at the right angle, right? So there we have classic BMW front grille, not a lot of deco, right? So and then it has a GTR silver. I think that's what it stands for, SILBR. So could possibly mean silver, right? That denotes the paint job, paint scheme here, right? GTR silver for a tailplate, all right? There we have the second casting for today. Up next at 143, new casting alert, right? So the 2002 Pontiac Firebird, right? So it's pretty awesome that for Hot Wheels being around so far, they still kind of like managed to come up with these really nice brand new castings, right? So I'm not a Pontiac buff, but this has definitely got a lot of vintage vibes about it, right? And as you can see, this was a 2002 Pontiac Firebird, and the casting is 2026. As you guys can see there, JHW17 2026 model. So brand new casting. And check out those wheels. Wow, those wheels are really popping, right? And it kind of like brings out the accents of that paint scheme too, right? It's like a chrome silver and a bright, brilliant orange right there, right? So Pontiac for lettering, and Firebird, right? Hot Wheels Firebird, okay, for a tailplate. All right, pretty nice, and I'm pretty interested in seeing what future lines of Hot Wheels premiums this might make an appearance in. All right, okay, so there we have a brand new casting. Up next at number 4 is another new casting alert, the 1993 Toyota 4Runner. Wow. So I'm pretty sure, JDM fans will be very excited with this new casting. All right. A pretty rugged construction, the 1993 Toyota 4Runner, 93 SR5. Now, I don't know, what that exactly stands for. This is defined officially as a garnet color, right? This color is not red, it's a fancy garnet color, right? And is a legendary off-road model and one of the earlier generations of, Toyota 4Runner, and that was released back in 1984, and then it kind of like went through some redesigns and some modifications, and this is the one that came out in 1993. So let's check out the details on the back. 93 SR5 and all that, but I have no idea what it says here. I'm just able to figure out that this one stands for 4Runner and that one's a Toyota, right? But I have absolutely no idea what the left part is, right? So I think that's a challenge when it comes to capturing details at a 1:64 scale, right? So maybe Hot Wheels Mattel will figure out something to kind of like increase the clarity of these tiny details, right? So because such details will really bring out the nice features of a car, right? But beautiful front grille, Toyota 93 SR5. What is that? What does that mean? right? If you guys know, let me know in the comments. All right. Okay. So very cool. I should possibly kind of like put a picture with this one and the more recent Toyota 4Runner, side by side. All right. Up next, our last casting for today is the 1978 Dodge Little Red Express truck, or Camion. Okay. All right. So let's open this. Now, we have seen this both as a basic and a premium casting. I think there was one year where this was also a Walgreens mainline, right? I think it was like either blue or green or something like that, right? Okay, so for deco, we have VP Racing, right? And I'm trying to make out what this means, but I'm not able to. Okay, wanted to. I wish I would have seen that earlier. So adventure. Okay, see it adventure. That's what it says. All right. So VP Racing. What I really like is the paint job. Yeah. So that one's going through the entire length of the body, right? So and it is also reflected on the hood. All right, it's got a nice bed with some details there. All right, so and some fancy exhausts. All right, all right, so that's there we have 1978 Dodge Little Express truck, and this casting is originally from 2021. All right, so there we have the 5 cars of the first mix of Hot Wheels Boulevards in 2026. Now, which one's your favorite? My favorite would be possibly the Toyota 4Runner at number 1 and the Pontiac Firebird at number 2, and pretty much all the other 3 castings would tie for third position. Now, as far as the entire mix goes, right? So with 2 new premium castings, right, which is 1 and 2, right, with 2 new premium castings, all of these castings are brand new to Boulevards, right? They are still, they're still new as far as Boulevards is concerned. And the interesting thing is, I noticed was 4 out of these 5 castings, right? So we saw this one had Fair Lady, this one had, like GTR Silver, right? This one had GTR Silver. This one had Firebird, and this one had 93 SR5, right? So 4 out of 5 castings had license plate details, and I think that's a lot of individual attention. But I hope they don't go over the top, right? So it's not an Easter egg when every car has it, right? So I don't want it to be something which is like very usual with a premium casting, because the thrill of finding an Easter egg of a license plate, if you're going to be finding it in every casting, then that's no surprise at all. So I hope that they keep that ratio healthy and keep things interesting for collectors. So what are your favorites? Share your thoughts in the comments. Till I meet you guys next time with another diecast video, this is Suresh signing off. Rock on and stay awesome. Bye everyone.